it's got to zigzag after you get home. And instead of being square, it's falling in.
You sent it over to me, mail it to me?
No, I took my school.
You're gonna film it?
No, I'm going to
Show me my slides?
show you.
That picture, it's great. I love that.
What are you looking for?
The styrofoam cup?
Oh, you don't like the styrofoam cup? God, it gets worse.
Yeah, thank you. Close.
From Levittown, we're used to start. That was the way of life, you know? Just solo cups, styrofoam cups, I'm all good at that. They have the red solo cups, you gotta have them. Come on.
No, but I think he sat there and I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, that is bad. I see what you're saying.
Listen, we're lucky we have pens up here. All right, so when the meeting starts, I say there's been an amendment to the agenda. What do I say? So should I let you say it?
If you want me to. You bet, sir.
We're not reading the motion.
No, we're having, then to impose disciplinary action on the police officer.
You want to say that or you want me to?
I'll look at it, too.
Okay,
Whatever you want.
I'll say you, I'll make you say it.
Okay.
Since you're the lead. All right.
When you bang the gavel, whenever you're ready, kiddo.
I have to wait for some people to come back.
All right. Okay. I'll stand because we got to stand anyway, right? For the pledge.
Right near that last exit to get off before you go through the toll.
Okay.
I think it's like bolted to another side.
Just waiting on one time the person to come back. Because I didn't need it. How's everybody in the audience?
Good. Doing well.
Good. New faces, I see. Everybody sign me the sign-in sheets and have public comment. How are you? I'm good.
that way though. Sitting downstairs.
Wait a minute.
You guys don't mind, right? The long executive session. Here
Here, yeah,
she comes.
Hold your ears.
It's Christmas time in the city.
Pretty good.
You gotta put your hat
That's
on.
pretty good. You gotta quit your,
Ring-a-ling,
you gotta,
hear them ring.
you have to quit your day job. This is great.
Oh my God. It's like a
All righty, should I keep the hat on?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Festive.
Just for the.
Thank you, Council
pledge.
President, for joining on the holiday festive.
Festivus for the rest of us. I got it.
You ready? All right. Meeting is called to order. It's Tuesday, December 17th, the very last meeting of the year. I know everybody's probably thrilled about that. We're going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now,
Dawn, can you do roll call?
I like Dawn's outfit too. That's nice, Dawn. It's short.
Present.
Councilwoman Catherine Price Engelhardt,
Present.
Council President Helen Blotto,
Present.
Councilwoman Melissa Johnson,
Here.
Councilwoman Lorraine Kelso,
Here.
Councilman Dennis Kinney,
Here.
Councilman Andrew Rubin,
Here.
Councilman Lucian Key,
Present.
Councilman Scott Robinson,
Present.
Borough Solicitor Randy Flagger,
Here.
Borough Manager Mr. Dell.
Present.
Okay, thank you, Dawn. We had an executive session prior to the meeting, and Mr. Flagger, would you like to talk about it?
Would. You love that phone, huh? It's like it's we had a lengthy executive session prior to the council meeting, which we discussed police matters, police negotiations, personnel matters, matters under litigation, and contract matters. Thank you.
Okay. Some community announcements. We have from Ivy Rehab, John Jemison here. They had an open house. They just opened up in town, and it was very nice. A few people from council went. The mayor went. Come up to the podium and just take a couple of seconds and talk about your new business.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I brought this for you. Yes, thank you guys for coming to the open house. So I'm John Jemison. I'm a regional director with Ivy Rehab Physical Therapy. We have offices kind of all around the area. We most recently opened up a practice in Morrisville. So Parneet was able to partner in that clinic, so a local business there. I personally grew up in Yardley, went to Pennsbury, and my family still, I have family members in Morrisville, so it's nice to be back in the area and serving the community I grew up in. The company itself, the mission is to help people live life to their fullest. And so, we try to have fun when you're coming in. You're in a lot of pain, discomfort. So, come up with personalized programs and really try to just make it a community feel. And if I could have everybody walk into the clinic and feel like you're walking into like your family's house for Christmas, it would honestly be a dream come true. So thank you guys for welcoming us to the community so nicely. I'm happy to be here. And if you guys need anything, feel free to reach out. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. It was a great time. The open house was wonderful, and we did feel like we were at home. It was like a family-oriented event, and I know Parneet's, a lot of her family came through, and there's a patient, so welcome to the community. We're happy to have you.
Okay, just some updates for the community. PennDOT is doing do not block box striping and fine signage at Washington and East Bridge Street. The signs are up, and I know that when I've been going through them, I do now see that cars are not parking in that block and not blocking traffic, so that's good news. The other thing that PennDOT is going to be doing is striping and fine signage on East Bridge Street and Central Avenue, as well as East Bridge Street and Park Avenue, but they don't have it scheduled yet, but they also will have fine signage and do not block the box. So anybody that lives on those streets should have an easier time of getting out. Just an update on the 2025 road program. Bid advertisements are going out on December 20th and December 27th as necessary, and the bid opens on January 30th with the bid awarded in February. So hopefully work will start by, would you say March, April?
I'd say April.
April, so hopefully,
Contracts are signed.
yeah. So after the contracts and the financing is in order, hopefully then we'll start paving the roads in April, and that will continue into 2026. The zoning board approved 50 Penn Manor Park School for their variance request, so we should see movement and some enhancements down at that school, and hopefully the businesses will start moving in. As a reminder, Borough Hall hours have been extended by half an hour. They're going to be 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. starting January 1st. PECO is working on your gas lines in the next 2 years, so if you want gas, please contact PECO. I'd like to do an extreme thank you to the Solid Rock Youth Center Pancake Breakfast, Audrey McNulty and Hot Rise Winterfest Parade, Summer Seat, and Historic Morrisville. Imagine Morrisville's A Very Merry Christmas, Very Merry Morrisville Christmas, the Compass Fellowship Baptist Church for their nativity, the firemen, the police, public works, and everyone who made December 7th holiday activities a success here in Morrisville. Some good news, there's been a decrease in residential sanitation charges to $425, and that's on top of the 2.5 mil decrease in taxes. Yay! Okay, just a reminder, there are a lot of board openings. If you would like, if you have any interest, please email or send a letter to office@morrisvilleborough.org. There's the Planning Commission, the Zoning Board, the Economic Development Corp, the Morrisville Municipal Authority, Water and Sewer, Environmental Advisory Committee, and the Library Board. Something new for all of the residents to understand, to ensure that all residential properties in the Borough of Morrisville meet safety standards, protect the welfare of tenants, and hold landlords accountable for rental units. Beginning January 1st, 2025, ordinance number 400-2, which was adopted in 2017, will be executed. A letter is being sent to all property owners advising those with residential rental dwellings to apply for an annual rental license and mandatory rental inspections. It's a $100 rental inspection fee, and if needed, a reinspection fee of $50. This will ensure that tenants are living in a safe housing, as well as allowing tenants the ability to address issues regarding their rental units. This is going to be a big undertaking, so hopefully people will come, who have rental units will come forward and voluntarily do the applications. The council have any comments, any conversation, discussions? Everybody happy?
I think this is a great move for, we have a lot of rental, people who rent, and the conditions aren't always the best. So I think this is a real strong move to help the 41% of people who rent and or rentals in this town. So I'm glad to see it. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. There's no engineer report. We have them working on a lot of stuff, especially the road program. Borough manager report, Mr. Dillon? None? Okay. Mr. Dillon has been very, very busy. He is our GOAT, our GOAT. I forgot it.
You didn't bring your goat?
I forgot it.
I had one. I didn't bring
I forgot. I got a goat for Mr. Dillon, but I forgot it at home, so he's going to wait till January. It's a New Year's present. Let's see. Solicitor report. Anything, Mr. Flagger?
Just going to wish everyone a really Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, a happy, healthy New Year. And I just want to say what a pleasure it's been representing the borough. I'm so pleased that council has, even when they just have strong disagreements, have done it in an agreeable fashion. It makes governments a lot easier. And I'm very, very pleased that somehow council was able to get James Dillon to be the borough manager. And Jim, you've been amazing. And it's an honor to be able to work with you. When I first met Jim Dillon, I was a kid in Middletown. I had been elected auditor at like 21 or 2 years old. And like, he would show up at the meeting and they said, you got this guy named John Burke. He's going to run the meeting, who also went on to become a legend. He should rest in peace, one of Jim's disciples. So I thank you, Jim, for what you've done for the borough. And I thank council.
Thank you, Randy. Police chief report.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, chief.
Hello, ma'am. Just to add a little bit to Mr. Dillon, I ran into somebody, I met a business owner last week in town, and when I asked him if he had met anyone from the governing body, it seemed like he liked to lay low, but he's been in business, I think, since the 60s or 70s over on Nolan Avenue. We'll talk about that later. But when I did mention the name Jim Dillon, he kind of lit up, and he said, Mr. Dillon made him look good back, I don't know what year, sir, but 62. I think it was about a 50-yard bomb. He was the quarterback, and you were the receiver. Yeah, he was happy to talk about that moment, and it was like he was on the field when he told me.
Do you have video of that, Jim?
It's in my mind.
It was probably a 10-yard pass, but it's become 50.
Well, you know, that it's like the fish. It gets bigger and bigger as you tell the story. Right. So it was a great story. Anyway, every month I come up here and I talk about crime stats and where we're going, and I really didn't want to do that tonight. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the progress that the police department has made over the last 5 months. I think last week marked 5 months that I've been here, and the amount of change and forward movement is just mind-blowing to me. And just to touch on a couple of things, you know, we had a successful national night out this year. I think we planned it on a couple short weeks' notice. The parking lot was packed. There was a lot of families. There was a lot of, you know, tables. And Mayor, you were so instrumental in that with Nicole and Kathy. I had nothing to do with it. I showed up. But it just, when I got here, one of the most important things to me was to build the Morrisville Borough Police Department brand. And that was one of the first things that we did that we called our own. And it was a success. We went into the fall, we had Trunk or Treat, another huge success. We had a lot of people come out, and I think it's just, we were rolling at that point. We had Coffee with a Cop, and our officers were showing up. They showed up for these events. They're taking pride. I'm seeing a lot of people coming to work with great attitudes, and they're happy to be here, and they take pride in wearing a uniform. We did a Movember event this year where, you know, everybody already has, they're allowed to wear beards or facial hair, which I was kind of unsure about when I got here, but it was already it was allowed, so I went with it. But I said for November, I said, well, why don't we do Movember? And that required people to donate. Normally you would donate and you could grow a beard for the month, but I had a bunch of people step up and donate. And today I just delivered an envelope with about $250 over to Ivan's house because we chose to deliver it to Ivan's house or donation. So they didn't have to do it. They're allowed to wear facial hair, but they did it anyway, which to me speaks a lot. We're improving our training. We're sending officers to training to sharpen their skill sets and broaden their knowledge to become better officers for our community and this department. And, you know, we're looking at policy every day, and we're revising, and we're looking at how to bring in the best practices and standards, you know, so our officers are guided by the best policies that are out there. Amazing advancements in equipment. Thank you to everyone up there. We had a tremendous information and technology upgrade, which allowed us to get back onto the county CAD system, which is allowing the officers to get dispatched in real time and communicate with the county. And it's become, the word was, I never thought this would happen. And now they're driving in the cars, they're on the CAD, they don't have to rely on that radio all the time, and it's been a tremendous help. We have e-citation that's coming soon. That'll be in the cars. We're moving forward with body cameras. We talked about last month, we're going to have the first borough to be a central booking center. That's going to be massive. People still don't believe it's going to happen here in the department, but it's coming.
When is that anticipated?
So I have to have a site inspection by the commission, and I did not want to schedule that until we had plans. We talked about the engineering for a sally port, and they said that we don't have to have the sally port prior to buying the equipment, but I wanted to at least have that plan. So my hope, my goal is sometime in the first quarter next year to purchase the equipment. I have the quote. The company knows that we're kind of in a holding pattern right now, but that's my goal is for by the end of the first quarter. Trucks, I know trucks are a very important part of Morrisville, and I just wanted to say one thing about trucks.
I have to interrupt you. Not an important part. They're not important to us.
Should I skip the trucks? Well, important topic. I'm sorry. Okay. An important issue.
I just wanted to make that clear.
An issue, a concern. Okay. So when I got here, so Lou Hallis, Corporal Hallis is our motor carrier officer, and he's out there, and he's required to perform 70 commercial motor vehicle inspections annually to maintain his certification. And that's not 70 truck stops and 70 citations. Those are full inspections where he is on the ground under the truck. They take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and a half, and he's required to do 70 of these. When I got here, actually, I'm sorry, in September, he was at about 25 roughly, and the first 9 months of the year. So once we got our staffing and we hired officers Carlin and Williamson, and we were able to put Lou back to doing trucks. So he had a lot of ground to make up. And from September until now, which is roughly 2.5 months, he surpassed that 70 mark, and he keeps going. So he's out there, he's doing it, he's maintaining his certification, he's crawling on the ground underneath these trucks. And I just wanted everybody to know that that is happening out there. I also wanted to touch on the police work that I've seen here, the exceptional police work. And just a couple of quick incidents. We know we had that unfortunate event at the border, the Gentlemen's Club. There was a homicide. And in my almost 6 years of policing, I've never seen a homicide solved and an arrest made in the same day. And that was only because of the quick actions and decisions and policing from our officers. The comments were made to me from the DA's office, the chief of detectives, that in the past, when there was a case in Morrisville, they weren't too excited to come here, and they were more than pleased. I got a couple of phone calls commending our officers and how we assisted and really spearheaded this investigation. These investigations require hundreds and hundreds of police hours and thousands of pages of search warrants and police reports, and it's a huge, huge investigation that all the I's have to be dotted and the T's crossed. And I think that they did an outstanding job. We had the bridge incident. If anybody doesn't know, our officers responded to a woman who was in emotional distress, was threatening to jump on the bridge. Officers DeLuca, Leonhauser, myself, and Perel were on the bridge that day. And if it wasn't for the actions of Joe Perel, who physically, when this woman was ready to take that step, grabbed her and pulled her back over, we wouldn't be talking about a happy ending like this. So if you see Officer Perel, and I would like going forward next year to implement some sort of formal awards program to really acknowledge and commend these officers, and I've given commendations. There was a river incident. I don't know if everybody knows, but about less than 2 weeks ago, another young lady in emotional distress walked out into the river, and 2 of our officers and a sheriff's officer arrived to the point where we had no choice but walked out into the river in December waters and brought her back in. So that was amazing. Things that we don't always talk about, that is just exceptional police work that I think needs to be recognized. And there's just tons of other investigations and great jobs that our officers are doing. So I'd like to thank all of the residents and business owners of this community for the warm welcome since I've been here. I didn't know what to expect from being an out-of-towner and the reception has been amazing. I feel like I'm at home. I feel like this is where I belong, and I thank everybody. My colleagues in the Chiefs Associations, our officers have done the same. My administrative staff, Nicole and Kathy, can't live without them. They're amazing. They are amazing every single day. And Mayor, Council President, the entire council, Mr. Dillon, Mr. Solicitor, you know, the continued leadership, guidance, and support of the police department is so appreciated. You allow us to go out and be police for our community, and that support is something that, you know, a police chief has to cherish. So I thank you. So just one last thing. In the past, police used to measure success based on arrest numbers and citations and cases closed, right? Today, it's more of our impact on improving quality of life, right? And feedback is probably the most important metric, you know, for which to measure that. And I got to say, I'm very proud to say that the feedback that I've received from the community, you know, everyone up here, my officers, has been amazing. So our goal is to continue that trend, continue growing, continue moving in a, you know, positive direction, and 2025 should be a great year. So I want to thank everyone, and happy holidays to you and your families, and everybody in TV land and behind me. Happy holidays. And I thank you for the opportunity.
We're very lucky to have you.
I appreciate that. Any questions for me, Scott?
No questions, but
I was ready for you.
Did you have something? Oh.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, actually, you could just stay there, because I meant to read this earlier, but I know everybody's hot on the topic of the truck traffic, and I know everybody's asking where the signs are. So I just wanted to let you know, I was talking with the PennDOT, and PennDOT sent me an email saying the signs are being installed this week. We hope to complete the installation by the end of the week, barring the unexpected. We appreciate your patience. So I'm just asking the residents, you know, to be patient. It's a government entity. They do not work fast. It's a state road. I would have liked to have this done in August, but, you know, I keep telling everyone January 1st, so hopefully we will meet that deadline. So the sign should be going up. I ride by and I look for them, so I haven't seen them yet. And I know, Chief, once those signs are up, and tonight, once we pass, if council decides to pass the ordinance, your officers will be out there?
Absolutely.
Okay, I also got an email from a woman who lives on East Philadelphia Avenue. She is very concerned because of this. The speed limit has been reduced to 25 miles an hour, and no one is doing 25 miles an hour there. So is there something that you can do for that?
So it's been, Philadelphia has been I'm sorry, did you say east or west?
East Philadelphia.
You said East Philadelphia.
West Philadelphia.
West Philadelphia,
West
right.
Philadelphia.
Okay. So that's been a post. It's been an assignment just about every day shift, and every day call permitting. Joe Perel was out there today. He was out there last week. Amanda DeLuca was out there, and they're out there stopping cars and enforcing the speed limits. We're trying to send the message out there that we are, in fact, stopping cars, and hopefully that word will spread. But there's been numerous citations issued on that stretch. The speed signs are in the area of Dacey's, and the officers are sitting right over by Dacey's, and they've been stopping a lot of cars.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. And not all the cars are getting the message.
It's going to take a little time, but we'll continue to do what we do.
Yeah, and just for the public, we are still looking into traffic calming devices, so that the engineers are. So hopefully next year something will come across the council's desk regarding that. Thank you, Chief.
And Chief, I just wanted to quickly say, you know, as we were going through that chief selection process, you know, I couldn't be happier with who council, and, you know, I did have a little bit of input of who we chose, right? And having that leader down there with your energy that kind of matches my energy as well. And, you know, what you brought to this town, and with everyone, the feedback that you have received, I have received, you know, keep up that great work. And, you know, to all the officers, thank you for, you know, believing in the leadership and really taking it to the next level and being out there for our community.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Those kind of things, for me, you know, they don't make me rest. They're just inspiring to go further. So I thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. All right, on to the action items. Consent agenda. Should we amend it here? Yeah, they can comment then. I'm sorry, we have an item to add to the agenda. Go ahead, do you want to just say it as long as we're saying it?
We need to amend the agenda. We need a motion to amend the agenda in accordance with the open meeting law to potentially impose disciplinary action of a police officer. I need a motion for that.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Who's the second? Marie?
Okay, all in favor?
All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Okay. Consent agenda. Approval of the council meeting minutes from 11/19/24. Approval of the bill list from November 1st to November 30th in the amount of $238,867.54. Approval of the 2025 borough meeting schedule. Approval of the amended 2025 library holiday schedule. Call for a resolution to update the borough's universal roadway standards to meet current state standards and update the requirement for the roadway opening repair standards. Call for motion to approve payment in the amount of $8,750 to Capital Health as payment per the EMS fund as of 12/31/24, contingent upon receipt of payment in full for gas and diesel invoices. Call for motion to approve payment in the amount of $27,500 to the Morrisville Fire Company as per the fire fund as of 12/31/24, contingent upon receipt of payment in full for gas and diesel invoices. Scott, would you make that motion?
So moved.
Melissa, would you second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion?
Yes, I have something for 10 F and G. And perhaps because I'm new, I'm just curious. I get that we're waiting for the receipts in order to approve it, but then between now and receipt of those receipts, we won't know what the balance is if the receipts don't come in, right? If they don't come in at this exact amount.
I think we owe them the $27,500. The receipt of payment in full for the gas and diesel is separate. So we owe them, but the fire department gets 4 mills a year that was voted on by the residents.
Okay.
And that $27,500 is the balance that is due to the fire department.
Okay, so that has nothing to do with the receipts that were.
Well, it's contingent on us getting the receipts.
So as long as we get the receipts,
Yes.
no matter no matter the amount of the receipts, this is the money that they're
Correct.
getting. Gotcha. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Okay, we had the motion in the second. Any public comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 8-0. Okay. Call for a motion to adopt the 2025 budget. It's a 2.5 mil decrease. Catherine, would you make the motion?
I so move.
Dennis, would you second?
Second.
Motion is a second. Discussion? Public comment? No public comment?
I have a question. I notice this is going through, we're going down to 27.5 for our millage, which is great. But it looks like with anticipated expenses, we're using the EIT to make up that difference. Is that what we're doing? Jim, can,
EIT.
yeah,
Balance the budget.
yeah,
Yes.
it brings it up to about 39.5, I think, millage. We're bringing our millage down, but we're still, our budget is still going to be as it usually is. So that millage from that EIT's budgeted in to help cover that.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Just as a reminder that it was 35 mills 2 years ago, and we had to go to the courts in order to ask the judge to allow us to be at 35 mills. Last year it was at 30 mills, and now we're at 27.5. So it's all good news. So we had a motion, a second. Nothing from the public, nothing else from council. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 8-0. Call for a motion to adopt the 2025 tax resolution. Andrew, would you make that motion? Luke, would you second?
Second.
First and a second. Any discussion? Anything from the public? Motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 8-0. Call for a motion to approve the 2025 fee schedule. Marie, would you make that motion?
So moved.
Melissa, would you second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Discussions. So the fee schedule, we had a meeting to discuss the fee schedule, the engineers and code, and, you know, they adjusted some numbers, but some of the things that I wanted to work on, but Mr. Dillon thought maybe we should just wait and do it during the year, so we can change the fee schedule anytime we'd like. But something to council I'd like to think about, we charge $325 in order to use the park, but we're always waiving that fee. So for residents, not out of towners, but for residents, I'd like the council to think about whether they would like to just waive that since we never charge it anyway. So no, we don't have to do anything today, but just think about it for the future.
Okay.
Any questions on that?
It's actually $300, but, and I think we had talked about moving it up to $325. So yeah, I think that's a good choice. Thank you very much.
So it's $325, like, per event to use it.
Yes, and we've been waiving it.
How much should we collect this year?
I don't know. Kathy, you had the events in the park. Do you know?
I'll have to look at the budget. From our events, I mean, we just had the 3 that was waived. But I think all the other events, like the August rally, they paid the $300. I can't remember if the Jazz Fest paid the $300 or it was donated. The Rotary didn't pay it, but I think like when a church group came, they paid it, and outside groups that come in that aren't nonprofit and stuff have paid it. So it's the only ones that basically the borough has sponsored and the Rotary that hasn't paid it.
So is this going to be for if a resident wants to use it, or is this going to be anybody who wants to use it?
I think that's something council needs to discuss. I just
Agree.
threw an idea out there. We can fine tune what we want to do.
Right.
Or leave it alone. I mean, I'm just throwing something out there.
My suggestion on the fee on that was to move from the $25 vendor fee and stuff is to look at that, to raise that, to bring in more money, but that's something we can discuss later.
Okay.
So thank you.
Yeah. Okay, any public comment? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 8-0. Call for now this is my favorite motion. Call for a motion to approve the truck ordinance banning trucks on South Pennsylvania Avenue from Philadelphia to Post Road. Who shall I call on? Luke, would you make the motion?
So moved.
Scott, would you second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? No, I got to hear yay. Anything from the public?
Do you have an ordinance number?
Not, that doesn't have until after we vote. Nothing else from the public? And it has to go through the office and get the paperwork done. So tomorrow, or one of the staff members is out sick, so maybe a couple days from now, there'll be an ordinance number. So, okay, nothing more. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I want to hear an aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That motion passes 8-0. Call for a motion to direct the solicitor to draft and advertise an ordinance amendment prohibiting municipal waste trucks on borough streets unless licensed by the borough. Melissa, would you make the motion?
So moved.
Marie, would you second? Any discussion? Anything from the public? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Wait, Jane,
Oh,
Jane has a comment.
Oh, sorry, Jane?
Could you just explain just a little bit about that was? I mean, are you talking about garbage trucks? Because there's municipal waste trucks that carry a lot of stuff that's not garbage.
Melissa, the trucks that use the borough as a cut-through.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So unless they're at our businesses or on our trash days, they can't be cutting through our town.
So it's supposed to be doing business in town.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Falls Township has a similar ordinance, so I'll be honest, we're piggybacking off of them, but that'll make it a lot easier when they're passing over the border. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes 8-0. Yeah, and now this is the added motion. Motion to suspend Officer Bradley Smeltzer for a period of 10 days without pay on dates designated by Chief Ciampa that will proceed April 1st, 2025. Melissa, would you make that motion?
So moved.
Catherine, would you second?
I second it.
Motion and a second. Discussion? We discussed enough in executive session. Anything from the public? Okay, nothing from the public. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion passes 8-0. Non-agenda public comments. Edward Young.
Should I stand here? Check. I'm here.
Just your name and address. So you don't have to give your number, just street name.
Edward Young. I'm the owner of 406 West Bridge Street. We were here on the 2nd of December for a zoning meeting that was approved in our favor. I have my partner here with me also. His name is Alberto Suarez. Our intention is to build, we come here for this meeting to show, forthright that we're going to build a twin. We're going to build a twin as per the footprint that we produced. And we're not going to build any apartments or anything like that. I just wanted to make that clear. That's why we're showing up today. I know that's probably not the best thing that, people in the area might want, but we're looking to build 2 single-family dwellings as a twin. So that would be 2 properties. Demolition of the one property that is there now that is in pretty bad shape, 104 years old. I think that's about it. If there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer.
No.
Okay, so I'm looking for approval, without an appeal. That's why we're here, just to, produce ourselves in public. Appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Jane Berger.
Question on the rental fees?
These are non-agenda items.
Right. Well, you didn't vote on it. So that would make it just a discussion item because you didn't call for public comment at that discussion item. Number 5 on page 1.
While she's looking that up, Jane, would you give your
I said,
street?
well, Jane Berger, 90 West Maple Avenue. Council discussion item number 5. You mentioned it, but there wasn't public comment for that. That's why I'm here now. I just need a clarification. I'm supporting.
Yeah, so that already exists. I'm going to let the solicitor.
I just need to clarify from the wording of
I think
this. Is there a fee for the license and then a separate fee for the rental inspection, which I think we used to call the UNO? That's all I need to know, because do you pay for the license and then for the inspection? It wasn't clear from the wording, that's why I'm asking.
I mean, the application will have all that data on it.
So you,
$100 for the inspection.
okay, so you get the license and then you get on the list for an inspection, and that's what the $100 covers. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I mean, if it was 2 fees, I'd gladly pay it because, I've been wanting this for
I
a
can
while.
make it 2 fees. Would you like 2 fees?
As long as they're reasonable, you can separate it out. Thank you very much for clarifying that.
George Helmstetter.
Hi, George Helmstetter, 800 South Pennsylvania Avenue. I really came to hear the truck ordinance pass. It's the best news I've heard since I moved here. There's still a couple of problems which I wanted, if I can get information about government people. We are the only state in the nation that doesn't have radar for local municipalities. I'd like to start pushing our legislators about that. It was passed and it's stuck in the House. So I've written to the president of the House and our local representative, and I hear nothing. So if you guys have any pull or any other information that we can email and start pushing for that, that would be, it would help, because not only the trucks, the cars are really zooming by now. And the chiefs have been doing great work, and I see them out there a lot more now, and any little bit helps. I also just want to say that the Christmas parade went by the other day, and this is such a great idea and pulls the community together, along with the fire trucks coming out with Santa. It's just a nice thing in a town. I've never lived in a town that had all these things, and it's really appreciated.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else for public comment? Okay, mayor's comments.
Good evening, everyone. It's wild to think that we're a week away from Christmas, so and Hanukkah. So happy holidays to everyone. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed their Thanksgiving with their family and loved ones. I also want to touch on the Winterfest day here in Morrisville. What a joyous day it was. I started my day early. Thank you to Solid Rock Youth Center for their pancake with Santa, their breakfast with Santa. It was wonderful. And then we went head on over to Summerseat for their walk-through open house with the craft show, or a few local crafts in there. There was also a wonderful artist, and hopefully I don't botch her name, Rebecca Zawadniak, thank you. She did some amazing artwork of Summerseat, and she gave me a little postcard, so thank her for that. Also, a special thank you to Imagine Morrisville for taking on the parade. The parade went off without a hitch. It was much bigger than last year, and it was just the excitement of the town, seeing all the residents come out for it. So thank you to everyone who came out and watched us go by and support. It's all about the community here in Morrisville, and I think we're really coming together strong. So thank you again to Imagine Morrisville, and a special thank you to Audrey McNulty for coordinating that parade. Also, just want you all to enjoy your holiday with your family and loved ones. This time is all about, gathering together and enjoying those special moments. So enjoy those times. Be safe. Have a happy, healthy new year. I look forward to seeing you all in 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Council member comments?
There. I went to a county meeting the other day about the Bucks County Home Repair Program. And this is a program that's offered in Bucks County to help people with limited financial resources, mostly our seniors, retired people, for home repair. And it provides qualified households with necessary health, safety, accessibility, and energy efficient related home repairs and modifications. The grant goes up to $50,000 of repairs that you do not have to pay back. If your repairs go beyond the $50,000, you can either make it as a loan, no interest loan, or like many will do, seniors will put a lien on our house. So when we sell our house or die and our kids will probably sell my house. That money will be taken, that lien will take from the overall revenue from the house. I did this several years ago with my mom, and it was really successful in keeping her home up to date and repaired, and to be able to put the things that were necessary in it so she could live a longer life in her home. So if you want information, you can talk to me, Jim Propriak. There's a website, but this is a real opportunity for a lot of people who financially can't do all the repairs that they need for their home so they can continue to live in it. So please let me know. I'll get you the information. There's a lot of money out there. So, please contact me if you're interested. So
they have a website that you can
Yes,
share?
It is buckscounty.org/BCHRP. And it also is connected. They also have funding from Habitat Humanity too for certain repairs that this won't cover. So please let anyone you know that might qualify. And usually the financial requirements are so low that most people who are just living on Social Security don't qualify. But on this, it's not that way. I think the one person is $64,000 a year. So that's a really good start there. So please let me know. And also the Morrisville Senior Center won first place in the parade. I just thought I'd like to brag about that.
Congrats.
So thank you.
Thank you for, thanks for letting us know. Anyone else on council?
Council President, sorry. I did just want to thank also Compass Fellowship Baptist Church over here for ending the Winterfest with their live nativity scene. I do love that every year. It's so cute to see all the kids out there with the live animals and the production that they put on over there too. So thank you to Pastor Zach and Pastor Taylor. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Anyone else?
One more thing. I usually don't talk this much, but you're talking about the radar. Every time I've gone to the borough conference that they have, that is always on the ballot to push. And I guess from history, it's been that way for a long time, and it never gets passed in legislation. The only, as I understand, is that the State Patrol are the only ones that are allowed in the state of Pennsylvania to use radar. And I don't, and it's been challenged for, I hear 25 years, and it still never gets passed. So I don't know why, but it's brought up every year. So just an update on that.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to ask, I think we had also talked about passing an ordinance so that the traffic does, not traffic, but trucks cannot go down Pennsylvania and Central Avenues. And I was just curious if, yeah.
Central.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the ordinance.
That's in there. Okay. All right, great. Well, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It said Pennsylvania, but
it's in the ordinance.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
So we had added, just to clarify, in that ordinance that we advertised last month, we had named the streets. There were additional streets put in there, and basically it's so that the trucks don't use the back streets as they're cut through. That would be Riverside Drive, Ohio Avenue, Park Avenue, Central Avenue. Because the Central is very narrow, and of course it loops into Park Avenue. And there was one more, which I don't remember. That was Anderson, I think that we, or not Anderson, Washington. So there are more streets that trucks have been banned from, but they're mostly the back streets. Thank you, Melissa, for clarifying that.
And one last thing, I just wanted to, for the listening audience and those who are here, just wanted to also say I nicknamed Audrey the Christmas czar this year. She did such a fabulous job. And if you don't know Audrey McNulty, is so creative and a really hard worker and very organized. Not that I'm trying to promote her to do more work. I'm just saying she deserves the kudos. She wasn't given much information. Like Donna said, Donna gave over all the information she had, and Audrey's put together something really great since then. I know that Donna was a great help to her and a good resource, but Audrey really took it, at least for the last few years, where it was and made it even more. Who would have thought that could happen? So, yeah, Audrey did a great job.
You can promote her to do more events. That's okay. She could take on next year's parade.
She might hurt me if I do. But
All in favor of Audrey continuing doing the Winterfest parade?
Aye.
Anybody else on council? Okay, so I just have one other thing. The Tom Wisnowski, who is the old mayor here and is part of Imagine Morrisville, he will be performing from 5 to 6 o'clock at Dacey's Pub on Saturday, and they are the Almost Perfect Christmas Trio, and they're going to be playing all your Christmas favorites. So if you have nothing to do on Saturday from 5 to 6, head on down to Dacey's. It is a fundraiser. Yes, Ivan's Outreach Center hosting a benefit toy drive, so bring a toy. So I think the toys always have to be unwrapped for the toy drive, so just remember that. It makes it easier when you're trying to figure out what child to give it to. Okay, I want to thank everyone. It's been a spectacular year. We've done so much. There's still so much more to do, and I'm looking forward to next year. And I'd like to thank council. They've been great partners in everything. They're really cohesive. They bring really good points up, and it's a pleasure to work with each and every one of you. And you, of course, Mr. Dillon. Couldn't do it without you. Couldn't do it without you. So if no one else has anything else, it is 7:59 and meeting is motion to adjourn. Yes, ever so moved, everybody. Happy holidays.